Jalo from BIS Commodities with your wrap-up for the week of April 22nd. The corn market, soybean market, wheat market this week somewhat on the defensive. Came in here to start of the week out with a weather forecast that showed us the opportunity to have a window here of some planting across the corn belt, starting sometime here this coming weekend and extended in the middle part of next week. So looking at the corn market, July contract down about 8 cents on the week. December contract down 23 cents on the week. Soybeans down a penny on the July contract, down 3 on the November contract, and the wheat market down about 9 on their July contract. Cattle market firmness there this week, up about $1.20 for the week. Hog market about the same, firmness there too, up about $2.17 on the week on the June contract. So, the week of weather watching is basically what it was. Weather models continue to flip-flop back and forth during the mid part of the week. As I said, here they are showing us the warm-up across the corn belt, with some dryness and some winds here over the weekend. And probably we get some of the corn planters out in parts of the belt. It's going to continue to be a struggle for the northern sector of the belt, as the snowpack is going to need to be melted off first before we get conditions up through there. Cash-wise, looking at corn, for instance, the cash basis continues to be very firm at the processor level. Soybean basis very firm again at the processor level, with some areas as much as $1 over the futures. This week's export sales, we did have a negative sales in the soybeans, so we had some cancellations probably due to China either being able to load some beans out of the South American ports, or even the continued story about bird flu that is still going around over there with their problems. It appears that maybe it's not totally under control, as there's some rumors that it's spread into Taiwan here right now. So that story is going to continue to kind of bite the bean market a little bit as far as the export demand. The strong thing in the beans in particular is the meal market. As we're seeing the crushers here in the United States, and in particular here in Iowa, where we're bidding $1 to $1.10 over the futures. Very strong meal demand, both domestically and in the export market. This past week, even with the reduction in the old crop bean sales, we did see the meal sales quite strong at just under 200,000 metric tons. So the need to source cash beans are still out there. This is continuing to keep the spreads firm in the nearbys. The July no spread continued to widen out this week, and probably will as we move into next week's first notice date for the delivery on the May contract. Interesting that the Board of Trade did come out yesterday with a force majeure on the river system problems, particularly the Illinois River system being shut down, with deliveries into May. One would have expected some reaction in the spreads, maybe easing back, but it actually firmed up here again today, as I don't think it's going to amount to all that much, when we're looking at the lack of deliveries on the May contract next week. And more likely that the river system will be back in operation, at the end of next week, or particularly the first few days in May. So, kind of a temporary situation there. Looking towards next week, markets as we come into the Sunday night, Monday time frame, and once again, I think it'll be taking a look at the 6 to 10 day and 8 to 14 day weather forecast. The most recent one is kind of showing a normal pattern across the central part of the country, both for the temperatures and moisture. There is some continued cooling in the south and wetness in the south that could bog down some planting down across the lower Mississippi Valley and up through the central part of the Ohio River Valley. And we'll take a look at all that next week. As far as progress coming into the Monday afternoon report, pretty much a guess among the trade that we could have maybe 10% of the corn planted at that particular time, and Of course, then we'll have to take a look at what that window of opportunity is from that point on. So the market doesn't really seem to be too concerned about the planting conditions yet. It seems like we see most of the trade here right now focused on the technical side of things, which has been negative. The algorithm computers are picking off the the headlines of this opportunity to plant, sunshines, and the lack of overall export demand as a negative. So quite a choppy market, with the weakness due to the conditions. So, look for another choppy week to start out next week. Hopefully the sun will shine and we'll get some of this corn planted. We got to remember last year we did, get about 40% of the corn planted in a week's time frame. No question, this year is a totally different year from last year. So have a good, safe weekend. We'll see you next week.